The man just wanted to work overtime in secret, but unexpectedly stumbled upon a murder scene. Jack swore he would never dare to work overtime again. While the killer was disposing of the body, Jack frantically hid in the bathroom, only to discover that the security guard had also been killed. Jack immediately went to check on the guard but accidentally triggered the toilet flush. Suddenly hearing footsteps, he quickly shut the door and stood on the toilet seat. The killer entered the bathroom but didn't spot Jack. Instead, he went to the sink to wash blood off his face. After the killer left, Jack hurriedly escaped the bathroom and found a colleague working overtime in another room. Jack told him what he had witnessed, and they tried to escape via the elevator, only to find it had been shut down. They then headed to the emergency exit, which was also locked. To escape quickly, Jack suggested they split up. His colleague would call for help online while Jack would retrieve his phone from his desk. However, he spotted the killer again. Fortunately, Jack was fast enough to evade him once more. His colleague wasn't having any luck either, as the internet had been cut off. The killer was now heading toward the office. Both men quickly hid under desks. The killer passed by without noticing them. The colleague then returned to his workstation and found his phone, but instead of calling the police, he called his wife. The killer suddenly appeared behind him. Jack witnessed this scene and immediately rushed to the supply room. He found a small knife in a drawer, but by the time he returned, they had vanished. Worried the killer might return, Jack hid in a nearby storage room. Sure enough, he saw the killer come back to dispose of the body and was nearly discovered. Jack dodged away in terror as the killer dragged the colleague toward the storage room. Just at this critical moment, the killer suddenly stopped. He heard a phone ringing. Following the ringtone, he found the phone while Jack escaped from the storage room. On the phone, the killer saw photos of Jack and his girlfriend. The killer grabbed his weapon and began hunting for Jack, unaware that Jack had reached another office. Jack then lit a piece of paper on fire, planning to trigger the fire alarm to alert people in the building across the street. Just as his plan seemed to work, with Jack frantically signaling for them to call the police, the killer arrived with a fire extinguisher. They accidentally ran into each other in the hallway, but the killer didn't chase after Jack. Instead, he quickly rushed into the room to put out the fire, then signaled to the people in the opposite building that the danger was over. No need to call the police. Jack took this opportunity to quickly turn off all the lights in the office area. Using his only keycard, he rushed into the boss's office. Before he could reveal the truth, the killer arrived and immediately killed the boss's assistant. While this was happening, Jack quietly slipped out. He could never have imagined that the killer had been hired by the boss to destroy evidence of embezzlement. Jack's presence had ruined their entire plan.